I'm sorry.
You're gonna fall.
Hal and I are living in a perpetual nightmare. A lot of people just think that Hal's a closet drinker.
I do not drink alcohol, but the perception is when I'm in an episode, this person's out of their mind. They must be under the influence of alcohol.
Hal checks his blood alcohol every 2 to 3 hours. The highest breathalyzer read has been a .49, which means that he basically should be dead.
I'm in a constant state of panic and anxiety. This condition is undoubtedly ruining my life.
Hal is flaring 3 to 4 days a week.
I can start to feel a little dizziness, empty-headedness.
His symptoms are slurred speech. He begins to twitch. Hal has stumbles and is very unsteady on his feet.
You're hallucinating. Nobody is here.
He has fallen many times, hit his head. He is mouthy,
You're not gonna fight.
says nasty things,
You ain't good at
hurtful things.
I remember certain bits and pieces or what I think are fragments of what happened, but for the most part, it's a complete blackout.
One time he flipped the coffee table over, destroyed the bathroom, broke mirrors, punched holes into the wall. Whenever Hal wakes up from an episode, he's just in complete disbelief. 2 years ago, Hal was treated with a micro antifungal IV treatment. Hal went completely flare-free for almost 2 years.
I thought I was over ABS.
It just felt so good to have the old Hal back. In January of 2020, Hal started to suffer a full-blown relapse.
People think that I'm generally just like a walking party and happy-go-lucky and woohoo, but it's definitely not a woohoo feeling. You wake up and you're out of your mind. This condition is not fun.
Our family is at a complete breaking point because I don't know how much longer we can do this. I believe that ABS will kill him.
Okay, it's good to meet the two of you. This has been going on for a long time, right?
Yes, sir.
And it's obviously creating a lot of stress and pressure on your relationship.
Correct. I basically have to separate the ABS from Hal and try to stay focused on just being angry on his condition and try to keep those two separated between that and who Hal really is.
Right. And most people have never heard of this. I've heard of it for years. It is very rare. And what we're talking about is that ethanol is created through fermentation of fungi or bacteria that's just, this is endogenous. It just happens in the gastrointestinal tract, and it generates a blood alcohol level on your part that can be really high. You've read as high as 0.49 at one point?
Yes.
Which is consistent with death. I mean, it shuts down the respiratory system.
Exactly.
And you think that this was triggered by antibiotics?
That's the only thing that every doctor that we've ever been to has ever linked it back to was, well, that obviously is the problem.
Right. And you've fallen, obviously hit your head, your face,
Yes.
just the same as if you were just staggering drunk.
Exactly.
Do you have any kind of aura when this comes on? Are you aware I'm going into an episode?
Anytime there's a slight dizziness or unawareness or I'm not able to concentrate on what I'm doing, I'll automatically bring out my breathalyzer and blow into it and see if I'm blowing anything. And there's been times that I'm blowing a 0 in the breathalyzer, but I will still call Stephanie or someone else that's close by and say, hey, can you come get me? Just, I don't know what's going on, but
Right.
I don't feel right.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.